I wonder what the admissions officers thought. They were just like,
I don't know. Hi everybody, I'm Jaja.
And I'm Jojo.
And we are the Tong Twins.
Today we'll be going over our college essays, specifically in the Common App.
So I'll be reading my Common App essay that I use to apply to all the schools, including USC, if you can't tell already. In case you didn't know, I am a rising sophomore at USC, so let's dive into this essay. Alright, so for those of you who haven't applied to college yet or don't know that much about the college application process, the Common App essay is one long essay around 500 to 600 words that you send to pretty much all the schools you apply to. So there's multiple prompts, and the prompt I chose was to detail something important to you or something that you can't live without or something along those lines.
And the thing with Common App essays is that there's only 7 prompts, but those prompts cover just about anything you would ever want to write about. In fact, the 7th prompt is actually write about anything you would like to add. So, you can literally pick anything.
Yep. And for my prompt, I chose to write about diaries and journaling, since that's something that I've been doing all my life and every night of every day. So I wanted to showcase that part of myself in my essay. So, alright, I have my essay up on my phone, and we're just gonna read through it and see how it is. Okay. Oh, I actually started out this essay pretty differently. It's not in paragraph form at the beginning. I started with the first journal entry that I ever wrote, which was when I was 5. So here we go. January 24th, 2007. Wednesday. Snow. Today I played water at school. 12 years ago, 5-year-old me entrusted my deepest, darkest secrets to a pink Cinderella-themed diary. I thought that simple entry, missing the period at the end of the sentence, would live forever. However, over time, the letters Minnie-Me so carefully drew smudged, and the pages of my beloved book wore thin. On December 10th, 2011, as I filled up another journal, I came up with a way to make my thoughts last. I would write my diaries in pen. Yeah, so my tip with one of the personal statements is to always start with an anecdote or write something anecdotal. Most of these prompts are asking about you anyway. So you want to showcase a part of yourself that you haven't already told the admissions officers in your application.
Yeah, and one important thing to remember is just don't write about accomplishments that you've done in your application. They already know if you've won some award. You don't need to write the hardships and struggle to get that award. Unless it's something that you can't see right off the bat from what you wrote in your application, because they just want something new, something different that represents you.
Yeah. Alright, let's look at the next paragraph. Alright, this is when I started tying the diary's theme into something bigger. So, the next paragraph goes, I've endeavored to create something permanent my whole life. On November 25th, 2012, 11-year-old me saved a few crumbs from the last Otis Spunkmeyer cookie from a school fundraiser and taped them into my diary, hoping that the chocolatey heaven would be forever engraved into my taste buds. Yeah, looking at that, it's kind of disgusting, but I still have cookie and tinfoil in a diary.
I wonder what the admissions officers thought. They were just
I don't know. Okay.
Not only is she creating a diary, she's creating a scrapbook.
Okay, but this is 11-year-old, so. Oh my god, there's a typo! Okay. On November 20th, 2015, freshman me recounted every detail of homecoming.
Yeah, and still very anecdotal. You're not really getting to the point yet, but you're slowly nudging the reader there.
And I wanted to show the passage of time, since the first entry I had was when I was 5, and I didn't want to jump from 5 to 18. So, oh, look, and then I try to be funny. Looking back now, I may not remember what food was served, which dress I wore, what sick moves I had.
Wow.
But every time I hear One Direction's Night Changes, the memory of my pounding heart from the first time a boy asked me to dance floods back. That's a lie. He asked her to dance.
Yeah. It was me, with Night Changes. But it's okay to bend the truths a little bit, because we're the same person anyway.
She's 99% my DNA, so she's me
They're
anyway.
not gonna know.
Yeah. The rhythm and lyrics act as my diary, conjuring an so when I talk about piano And every time I hear this piano piece, I think of playing that piano piece in a concert hall. That kind of shows that kind of ties it back to my application, saying, oh right, she played piano. Alright, and then furthermore,
another tip about writing these anecdotal essays is just be over dramatic. Like, we're not that, like, I'm not a very sentimental person, but when I applied to college, it was like emotions everywhere. Everything has to like have a bigger meaning, and everything's got to be like very like exaggerated.
Let's continue. As you'll notice, these examples get more and more serious and more big scale. It started from me writing in a small like Cinderella-themed pink diary, and now I'm talking about writing a song for a classmate who was fighting cancer.
And you have to have a concrete like image of what your accomplishment was, so that it doesn't seem like it could just happen to anybody.
Alright, and then we go into my last paragraph. So in the last paragraph, you want to round everything out, you got to the big scale, but now you need to bring it back down to the small scale. So, every night when I sit down on my bed and open my black leather-bound diary, I scribble down my ruminations on the day. At 5 years old, I wish that these entries would bear wistful recollection for myself in the years to come. However, at 17, I now hope that every minute of every day was spent weaving together my legacy. And if over time all my efforts rub off like ink on a page, then I'll write them down again, this time in permanent marker. I still like that. It's me every time.
Yeah, I really like that. I was super jealous that you thought of that.
You were?
I mean, yeah. Like, I was like, ugh, I should have had, like, an ending that hit as hard. But no, like, yeah, so this is just a good example. Like, your conclusion should tie everything together. When they finish reading, they should be like, oh, like, everything should make sense.
Yeah, and I tie back to my 5-year-old self, because in the first sentence I wrote, whatever, my 5-year-old self entrusted in my deepest, darkest secrets in the diary. And then I also mentioned going from pencil to pen, and then here I write, and if all my efforts rub off like ink on a page, and I had talked about the pencil rubbing off the page in the first paragraph, and then I'll write them down, again, in permanent marker.
Yeah, so you gotta drop a lot of hints. Like, if you're talking about writing a diary, then you gotta include writing, imagery, anything that relates to writing, paper, ink, like, to keep that. And then when they get to the end, they're gonna be like, oh, like, that's so cool, like, they were leading me
writing the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah, so takeaways. Basically, you want to write about something personal, something anecdotal. I find that those are easy to start with since you know them the best. You want to maybe be a little lighthearted, but also get serious since you're applying to colleges and this is a big deal. And you want to show the admissions officers that you are a deep thinker and you have many thoughts, and it's not just a simple, vague, meaningless essay about like this little obstacle you had.
Yeah, like other things, you want to be specific. You want to use concrete images, lots of imagery, but make sure that it ties into whatever your theme is.
And then ultimately, just remember to be genuine and be yourself, because that's just what the, I don't want to say recruiters, the admissions officers are trying to know from your essay. They can't see your personality through your like stats and your test scores. This is the only chance to showcase your voice. So you want to show them who you really are.
Yeah, so that's Jada's essay that got her into USC.
Next time, we will be reading her essay.
Yeah, my essay. Ugh, it's so much more cringy than this one.
Mine is pretty straightforward.
Mine is, oh
yours
god.
Yours is a confusing maze that goes in circles.
Yeah, so stay tuned. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below.
Hit that subscribe button.
It's over there,
Ring the bell.
And
give
like
us
it.
a like.
Yeah, give us a like. And check out our other videos on our channel.
Alright, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye!
Bye! I really hope this isn't lopsided. I think we're fine. Alright.